Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Jamison. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 kiddos. My daughter Josie is 3 and my son Jax is about 21 months old. They are 18 months apart and it is wild and crazy here in my house. So this video is my attempt at decluttering my kitchen, but I was only able to get to the drawers in my kitchen, not able to get to the cabinets. So instead of stressing out about that, I'm gonna give myself some grace. Just be happy I was able to declutter the drawers, like this junk drawer here that I'm tackling, which just piles up pretty frequently. So I'm just gonna be happy with what I got done. And then I rewarded myself a little bit with some decorating. I have yet to decorate for the 4th of July / summer. And so I was excited to get some of that done and decorated. For the most part in this video, we are hanging out in the kitchen, but I do take a little bit of a break to decorate the mantle and just kind of get that done. My kitchen and my kiddos' playroom is like one big giant like rectangle. It all just runs together. And so when I'm in the kitchen, I can see the mantle, and so that's why I decided to tackle it. I am definitely someone who gets distracted when I am decorating, cleaning, what have you, and so this is kind of what happened here. I looked up and I was like, oh, I know what I can put in this spot and in this spot, and so I just went ahead and tackled that while also decorating and taking care of my kitchen. But I hope that you enjoy this video, and like I said, give yourself grace if you didn't get everything on your to-do list done, but I also hope I give you a little bit of motivation to tackle something that you have been wanting to get done. If you're looking at a huge space like a kitchen and you're wondering, how do I even begin decluttering? There's just too much stuff. I don't know what to do. You don't have to do your whole kitchen or even all of your cabinets in one day. Start really small with a drawer and tell yourself you're going to tackle one drawer a day and see where that gets you. It's a little bit easier to take small bits of this so you don't feel like you're biting off more than you can chew. I'm definitely that person who has emptied out all of their cabinets and then you create an even bigger mess than you had to begin with. And so if that's something that makes you nervous, like I said, just start with a drawer or start with a cabinet and then go from there. So you might be noticing that I am putting a lot of what I have back into my drawers, but I am decluttering as I'm taking everything out. I'm looking at everything and making sure that I do use everything, that there's nothing that's broken, all of that good stuff. I decluttered the most from our junk drawer, just naturally, it just contains more junk than the other ones. But I declutter and I go through my stuff very frequently. So you might even notice that you have a completely empty drawer by the end of decluttering all your drawers, or maybe you have an empty cabinet. We wanted to put a trash can that was nestled in a cabinet in our kitchen. And so I really worked hard to declutter and organize when we were trying to do that. And also before I had my daughter Josie, I really decluttered because I knew we would be having more and more baby stuff. And so if you do it periodically, it's not this huge daunting task. I was able to go through all of the drawers during one of my kiddos' naps. I've done all the decluttering that I'm going to do for this video, and I'm moving into cleaning and decorating. I was so excited to get out these vases with the oranges and the blue, I believe they're peonies, and put them back on my kitchen table. I've done this probably for 5 years now, at least close to 5 years. I think it was COVID time, so like 2020, when I ordered all of the materials to make these vases. I gathered inspo from Pinterest, and I'm still obsessed with these centerpieces years later. I just think it's such a good pop of color, and the oranges at the bottom are so fun and different for your flower vases. So like I said, most of what I'm doing is happening in the kitchen. So I'm taking care of these windows. There's lots of sticky fingerprints now that it's summertime and we're running in and out constantly, that this door gets touched, and it's been rainy lately, so I have like wet dog paw prints on here too, and nose prints. So it just has gotten pretty gross and hard to see through, which is typically my sign that I need to get cleaning and wiping these windows. But I only take care of the windows that are in the kitchen. I did not go ahead and do all the windows on the first floor. Sometimes when I'm cleaning, I will tackle, room by room. Other times I will tackle everything that needs to be wiped down, all the windows, like each different category. So since today was just primarily in the kitchen, we are going to go ahead and wipe down the kitchen windows. Sometimes I like to also, spray down and wipe the door, or clean out the actual windowsill where the window comes down and sits, because it just gets dirty and grimy. But today I was just focusing on the actual window pane. I totally forgot about this drawer over here. We added this on ourselves. It's not like perfect craftsmanship, but it works well for us, and I love the blue color. But I forgot about this drawer, so I went ahead and took everything out, and I am just mainly reorganizing and wiping it clean. I don't think there was much of anything that I got rid of. Just like I said, cleaning it up and reorganizing it so it functions a little bit better and holds all of our stuff. I'm moving on to my favorite part, decorating. So I don't really need so much motivation when I'm doing this, but when I'm cleaning and decluttering, sometimes I need a little extra motivation. And so some things that I like to do are put different YouTube videos on the TV, or listen to a podcast, or just turn up the music really loud. You can get creative on what works for you and things that you like, but having that on in the background also feels a little bit like self-care and like you're doing something for yourself as well. I'm a total advocate for, if you can do something when your kids are awake, do it while they're awake, so you can really recharge during their nap time or quiet time. But sometimes that's not always practical, and you need to do stuff while they're asleep. And so if you're like me and you are getting something done while your kiddos are napping or having quiet time, go ahead and put on some music or turn on a podcast or a YouTube video. It really helps to keep myself motivated and also feel like I'm doing something for myself while I'm doing something for my family. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching. I hope that you were able to either, just sit back and relax or get some things done with me. I so appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me today. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. And I will try and post a video every single week, hopefully on Mondays. And I will see you next week with a new video. Bye.